Okay, this video is on solving for body surface area, or BSA, and also dosages based on BSA. The reason we have to calculate BSA is because there's quite a few medications that are based off of a person's body surface area. It's because it's very specific to their size. The unit for BSA is meters squared, right here. Let me get my pen working, right there. And the rounding rules are the same as the syringe rules. So if the BSA is less than 1, you're going to round to the hundredths place. And if the BSA is greater than 1, you're going to round to the tenths place. So the first thing we're going to do is solve some BSA problems. So the formula, if you're given the weight and height in the metric system, centimeters and kilograms, you're going to use this specific formula. Centimeters times kilograms over 3,600, and then you're going to hit the square root button. So here we have a practice problem. So it says find the BSA for a patient weighing 54 centimeters and 21 kilograms. So the formula is centimeters times kilograms over 3,600, and then the square root button. It's very important to hit equals every time. So 54 times 21 equals, divide by 3,600 equals, then hit the square root button. Okay, I have 0.561. Since this is less than 1, you're going to round to the hundredths place. And the 1 makes the 6 stay the same. So 0.56, and the unit is meters squared. Okay, so that's if you're given the calculations in the metric system. Now, sometimes you're given the height in feet and inches and the weight in pounds. So if you're given it in the English system, you're just going to use this formula, which is where you're going to take all the inches times the pounds over 3131, and then hit the square root button. Okay. So here's a practice problem for that. So find the BSA for a patient weighing 176 pounds, and that is 5 feet 2 inches. So for this, we need to have the inches only. So we're going to change the feet into inches. So I know 1 foot is 12 inches, so 5 times 12, I think, is 60. Let's double check. Yep, is 60. And then don't forget the other 2 inches that you have. So I have 62 inches. Okay, to solve the problem, you're going to take the inches, 62, times the weight, 176, over 31, and then square root. Okay. So hit equals every time. So 62 times 176 equals, divided by 3131 equals, then hit the square root button, and I get 1.866. And since it's greater than 1, we're going to round to the tenths place, and the 6 makes the 8 go up to a 9. So I've got 1.9 meters squared. Okay. So now we're going to talk about when we're giving dosages or medications based on a person's BSA. These are the steps. First step, you're going to calculate the BSA. Then you're going to multiply the dose times the BSA. And if they give you the medication available, you're going to then calculate how many milliliters to administer by just using a dosage problem. Okay. So notice my little meters squared right here, because I can't, on this program, I can't put the little 2 up there, so I had to write it in with my pen. For this one, it says the recommended dose for that medicine is 4 milligrams per meters squared. Determine the dosage to the nearest tenth. Oh, I didn't even put the patient's height or weight. Okay, so I'll make it up real quick. So let's say he is, we'll do 42 centimeters and 81 kilograms. Okay, I guess I should have had that in there first. So first step, we're going to calculate his BSA. So his BSA is, since they gave me centimeters and kilograms, I'm going to use the metric version, which is centimeters times kilograms over 3,600. So centimeters, 42, times the kilograms, 81, over 3,600, and square root. So I got 42 times 81 equals, divide by 3600 equals, and then hit the square root button. And I have, ooh, this is a good one. I have 0.972. That's a 9, believe it or not. And so it's less than 1. So I'm going to round to the hundredths place. Okay. So I get 0.97 meters squared. Okay. So for the second part, you're now going to, second step is I'm going to multiply the dose ordered, right here, times his BSA, because this means everybody can get 4 milligrams per meter squared. So you want to find out how much your patient needs, so you multiply by his meters squared. So you've got 4 milligrams per meter squared, and you're going to multiply by his meters squared. Okay, and those meters squared, they cancel, and then you're going to multiply 4 times 0.97 equals, and I've got 3.88, and this one did say round to the nearest tenth, so I'm going to round to the nearest tenth, and I get 3.9 milligrams, because that's the unit that's left right there. Okay, so you can't do the dosage problem here because they don't tell you what's available. Okay, so the next problem is where we'll do a dosage problem. Okay, so a child is prescribed 1.5 milligrams per meter squared of that medicine. The child is 3 feet 2 inches tall and weighs 73 pounds. The medication available is 1 milligram per milliliter. How many milliliters of medicine will the child receive? Okay, so the first step is to calculate the BSA. So he's 3 feet 2 inches. So I would take the 3 feet and change them 2 inches. So 3 times 12, 36, plus the other 2 inches. So 38 inches. Okay, so this is the English version, so you do inches times the weight, so inches times the pounds. This is the English version, so over 3131, and then hit square root. 38 times 73 equals, divide by 3131 equals, square root button. Okay, so I have 0.941. Less than, since it's less than 1, I round to the hundredths place. So that gives me 0.94 meters squared. Okay, so the second step is to calculate how much medicine he will need. So he's prescribed 1.5 milligrams per meter squared, and you're going to multiply the dose times his BSA, so 0.94 meters squared. Oop, ran out of room. Cancel, cancel. So 1.5 times 0.94 equals, and I get 1.41 milligrams. This number we do not round. It's not a BSA, not a syringe. It's none of the rounding rules, so you leave this number here. This is now what is ordered for your patient for you to be able to complete the next step of the dosage problem. So you'll use what's ordered for him and the medication that you have available. So what's ordered is 1.41 milligrams over what you have on hand, 1 milligram per 1 ml. And you get 1.41. milliliters. Now this is a syringe, so you have to follow the syringe rounding rules. So since it's greater than 1, you're going to round to the 10th place. And you get 1.4 milliliters. Okay, so that's calculating how much medicine a patient gets based on their BSA in the English version. So the next one is our metric version. Okay. So it says a child with bone cancer is prescribed interferon gamma 1B, whatever, 50 micrograms per meter squared, subcutaneous injection. Child weighs 42 kilograms is 121 centimeters tall. The medication available is 0.1 milligrams per 0.5 milliliters. And it says how many milliliters will the patient get. So first step is to calculate the BSA. So BSA is the centimeters. This is the metric one. Centimeters times the kilograms, so 42. And since it's the metric version, you're going to use 3,600 and square root. 121 times 42 equals, divided by 3,600 equals square root. Okay. And I have 1.18, and since it's greater than 1, you round to the 10th place. So I get 1.2 meters squared. Okay, step 2. You're going to multiply the dose of 50 micrograms per meter squared times his meters squared. So 50 micrograms per meter squared times his meters squared. Cancel. So 50 times 1.2 equals, and I get 60 micrograms. Okay. So now you're going to do the third step, which is just the dosage problem based on based on what is ordered for him specifically, which is 60 micrograms, and what you have on hand. So you have 60 micrograms, and what you have on hand, 0.1 milligram per 0.5 milliliters. Now notice our units do not match. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to multiply the bottom one times 1,000 to change it into a microgram. Please know you could change the top one as well. So if I change the bottom one, I keep the 60 micrograms, is what's ordered. Over, that's what, 0.1 times 1,000 should be 100 micrograms. Let me type it in just to make sure, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Yep, 100 times 0.5 milliliters. And those cancel now. So 60 divided by 100 equals times 0.5 equals. And I get 0.3 milliliters. And that is it for BSA. I hope that helps.